Hey, 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 welcome. It's Friday Read Live. How are you, Teresa? Hi, Sharon. How is your day going? How is everything? What are you reading? How has your week been? My week has been pretty hellish and it has affected my reading. So there you have it. Hey, Tracy, how are you? I had an announcement of a friend from high school and college who died, and that threw me for a loop. And I was not really up for reading very much this week, so I am still reading Razorblade Tears. I'm still like third in, and I haven't started Opal and Nev, which I will probably start this tonight, hopefully. Either tonight or tomorrow, but I will probably finish these two this weekend. So hopefully I can get back on track because I only have All the Sinners Bleed and what was the other one? All the Sinners Bleed and Crook Manifesto. Those are the only two I have left to read. So yes. Thanks Tracy for that. Yeah, it's been really hard this year with death. Um I've been to two funerals, missed two, and a good friend of mine, she's had her sister's been struggling with cancer for a couple of years, and now her sister has died. And unfortunately, she was on the way to see her sister in England, and her sister died before she could get there. So I'm a little bit gutted for her because I know she's going to be not well about that, about having missed seeing her sister. So yeah, it hasn't been a good week. It just hasn't been a good week for that. But it's life, and we have to accept that it is what it is. Um, so yeah. Okay, I'm a Lola. I saw your picture, so adorable with Attica Locke. She was very nice to you and signed all of your books. Well done. Hey Alba, hola. Hey Alicia. Hey Curtis. So yeah, like I said, I haven't been reading, so like I'll say it again. I'm reading Razorblade Tears still, and I'm gonna start opening it hopefully tomorrow. So what are y'all reading? Let's see. Tim says, Happy Friday, everyone. She's listening to The Secret Keeper of Main Street. Yeah, I thought that was just okay. I expected a lot more from it than she gave. Sky Full of Elements. Yeah, that seems to be the book of the moment on Instagram. Thank you, Tinley. Thank you for that. Thank you also, Alba, as well for that. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Yeah, apparently she is very funny. That's what I hear. I have not had the pleasure of meeting her just yet. Hopefully, she will come this way, but I doubt it. I don't know. Maybe. Hey, Celeste, how are you? Hey, Bucola. I'm glad you're enjoying seeing her name, and I'm so happy that she agreed to come to the book club. So she's gonna. Rosalind said she would, be happy to come and talk to us about the books. I thought, oh, great, fantastic. So I'm really happy about that, and I'm gonna try to get Kobe Ben for a read in October. I know he's not that reachable, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get a hold of him because we can't talk about no one dies yet without Kobe Ben. Like what? So yeah, we're gonna see. Keep your fingers crossed on that one. Okay, Bucola is also reading An Olive Grove in Inns by I don't know this one. An Olive Grove in Inns by Moses McKenzie. Okay, I might have to look that one up because I don't know it. Thank you for that, Malula. I appreciate it. Um, Tracy said she started Lovely One. Okay, the memoir, yeah, of Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. How is it? Is it good? Wait, I'm gonna look at this one up from Bucola. An olive. Wait, what is it? An olive, because I don't know it. An olive grove in in. Okay, Moses McKenzie. I don't know it. Is he Black British? Let's see. Oh yeah, he must be because this takes place in Bristol. Mm, okay. Okay. This sounds interesting. Got kind of a drug crime thing going on in here. Okay. All right. Why not? I'm gonna put it on my want to read list. Okay. I hadn't heard of that one. Let's see. Uh, oh, British Caribbean. Okay. Wait. Let me see. Do they have a picture of him on here? Uh, Wait. Where was I just now? Where? Oh, here it is. Let's see if they have a picture of Moses. Oh, he's young. I don't know if you can see him though here. Wait, let's see if I can make it. Can I make it bigger? Yeah, here he is. He's young. He's a baby. Okay, I see you. I see you, Moses McKenzie. All right now. All right. Okay, so Curtis says reading The Fabulous Sylvester by Joshua Gamson, and all the lonely people by Mike Gay. Yeah, I heard a lot about that book. Such a great storyteller. Really enjoyed the book. Yeah, that's what everybody says about that one. They really enjoy his storytelling. Thank you so much, Bukola. Yeah, my friend is she's the only good thing is that she did go back to England in I think it was in August, the beginning of August. She went back the end of July. She went back for 2 weeks and saw her sister and her mom. So that's some saving grace. But you know how it is when you're rushing back to see a family member and then they die before you can get there. You're devastated. You just it's so my heart goes out to her because I know she's probably really torn up about that. All right. Okay. So Amalola said she's reading Ghost Roots. Never heard of that one either. Pimi Aguda, short stories. Okay, continuing with Lost Love Songs of Boise Sing. We'll start saying her name during the week. Okay, very good. All right. Sharon says she's reading One Blood. Oh, girl, One Blood is so good. Alicia is reading Jonah's Gourd Vine by Zora Neale Hurston. And Amalo's sister Alba, yes, it is, and the last in the Highway 59 trilogy. I'm sad about that. I wish she would make that one go a little longer. But anyway, she's probably got other plans. Let's see. Oh, he's 23. Yeah, he looks 23, 23, 25. Yeah, that's what he looks like. Well, what's his writing like? Yeah, he's cute too. I know. That's why I said, I'll see you. I'll see you, Moses. But he's a baby. I mean, he's a baby. He's a baby. But yeah, he's good looking. All right now. But is the book good? That's what I want to know. Is the book good? Is it good? Hey DL, how are you? Welcome. Hey Jennifer, welcome. What are you guys reading? Oh, you marked it on your your March 2023, Teresa. Okay. Yeah, you're like me. You haven't read in days. I haven't read in like maybe 2 or 3 days either. Mm, yeah. Oh, you're still reading The Beast Sting, but I'm sure you're still enjoying it, right, Nicole? Okay, you're enjoying Ghost Roots. Okay, good. Okay, that's interesting. Bukola says his writing is not like a young person at all. He has patois in it as well, Bible verses and Jamaican proverbs. So he's an old soul. Well, that's interesting. So, what is the book about? Like, can you give people like an idea of what what to expect? Like, what is this reading like a literary fiction? Is it reading like contemporary? Is it reading like Can you give us a little something, something? Yeah, life is life, and girl, it sure is. Wait, he has a second book. This dude got a second book. Oh, okay. So an Olive Grove in Ends came out in 2022, and the second book is Fast by the Horns, 2024. Let me see that. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Hmm. Okay, that's an interesting second book. Which you mean? Does the book have to be 630 pages? What you mean, Nicole? Does the book have to be 630? I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about? Oh, does the Beast thing have to be 630 pages? Girl, I don't know. I didn't read it, but nobody else complained about it being 630 pages. Oh dear, we're keeping you in the bookstore, huh? Yeah, Sing Her Name is probably going to be a very interesting talk with Rosalind Story, who is a musician and singer as well. I think she plays the violin. Uh, yeah, he seems to be somebody to keep an eye on. What Bucola's been saying. Oh, you're saying it could be shorter. Well, I didn't hear nobody talk about it could be shorter. I only heard people say they loved it, and they could have gone 100, 200 more pages. So I don't really know, but that's what people were telling me. They really loved it. Hello, clever girl reading. What are you reading? So I don't know. I haven't had the pleasure of reading it yet. Who knows? Maybe some point at the end of the year, or maybe not. Maybe next year. But I don't. I remember it getting very good reviews. I remember Rosa raving about it. She said, "Oh my God, it could have gone on. I would have loved it." So yeah, I don't know. Does it have to be 630? I don't know. You know, I know it's long, but I mean, I'm one of those people that says if the book is 500 plus pages and you're feeling like at the end that it's about 3 stars, then I'm not really going to recommend it. I'm just going to say, look, read at your own risk, but I personally don't think it's worth all the time you're going to spend because it's only 3 stars. But I know, some people will want to read it anyway, and then, they start reading and they feel like it's a little bit long-winded or whatever, they'll just DNF it. So I love a long book too, but it's got to be good. I don't like no, you know, I don't like those long books where you can clearly see that it's either starting to be repetitive in areas or it's starting to lag the storyline that you don't feel like it really needs to be 600. So you're like looking for when is this going to end kind of situation. So when it's like that, then I'm like, mm-mm, I'm not happy to read the long book. Now if the long book is really good, you won't hear a peep out of me. I would be happy as a clam reading the book, the big book. So I mean, we're gonna see. I mean, we've got Les Miserables coming. That's a very long book. So we're gonna see how everybody fares with that. And then I'm also gonna start reading in October Covenant of Water because I have it with my book club here in Normandy. We need to read that. I need to read it by the 15th of October, I think it is. So those are two, well, one excessively long. Maybe it's a because it's 1,200 and some pages. But the cover of water, it's like in the 700 something pages. So we're gonna hear. Yeah, we're gonna hear. We're gonna see what it's like. Let's see. Wait, I lost track. Okay, Nicole says it's not the length of the book that bothers me. It's I feel like I got the gist of what's going on. I don't need any more words or scenes. Okay, well then maybe you should just DNF it and keep it moving, girl. Just stop wasting your time. Just DNF it and keep it moving. Celeste said, I'm not scared of a long book, but it needs to read fast and go somewhere. Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be good. I'm not lying. I agree with you on that. It's gotta be good. If it's not good, then yeah, you're gonna lose my interest real quick. Um, let's see. Ms. Peacock says, Hi, I'm reading Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. Okay, very good. I haven't read that one though. Birdie says, Good afternoon. Happy Friday, Birdie. How are you? What are you reading? Amalila says, I hear Les Mis rambles in a part. Well, I mean, I'm sure it will have some parts that ramble, but I feel like as a whole, once you've read it, you're gonna feel good about yourself once you've read it. It's a little bit like the count. When everybody was finished the count, everybody was like, Yeah, I finished the count, and they were like really happy with themselves. And I think it's gonna be the same with Les Miserables. Um, but Victor Hugo was really staunch on trying to uh, portray what French people were living at that time period, and particularly the poverty in which they were living, and the difficulty in which they were living. So he probably has some tangents that he goes on, I'm sure. But I think as a whole, we're still gonna love it. I'm a little said, oh, our buddy Reed with Cola is reading. Oh, you're reading Covenant of Water in October too. Okay, very good. So you see, we're all on the same page. We doing the long book thing, the big book thing. Let's see. Hey, Keisha. Keisha is currently rereading via Audible as I clean up. Okay, very nice. I would leave me if I could by Hasley. It's a poetry book. Okay, got around my not starting any. Oh, okay, not starting new book rule. Okay, so you still kind of cheating though, because reading poetry, girl. You're not reading your books. Read your books, Keisha. Amalila said, I like Abraham V. Writing, so I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too because I thoroughly enjoyed Cutting for Stone, which I read years ago. So I'm just, super happy to be embarking on reading The Covenant of War. Everybody has just literally raved about how good that novel really is. So I can't wait. And I know we're going to have a great book club discussion here in Normandy on it because everybody seemed really gung ho to read it. Almost everybody voted for it, almost, which is rare. They're not often books where everybody votes on them. So I can't wait. Patricia says, I love the bee sting. I just finished Stone Yard Devotional this afternoon. Okay, yeah, that's on the short list of the Booker Prize. And I on my list, I put that as one of the ones that was probably gonna make it. I thought it would be Stone Yard Devotional, James, The Safe Keep, and then I bugged out. The other three, no, I was off base. So I definitely didn't think Orbitable would be on that Orbital would be on that list. Because just I heard so many people say it was just a big fat bore. So I was thinking, okay, that's probably not going to be on there. And sure enough, it's on there. But I think the Booker usually has to have at least one big fat bore on there on their short list, in my opinion. Hey, Dr. Raymond, how are you? Welcome. Raymond is reading Paradise by Toni Morrison. Paradise. I love that opening line. That opening line is like, it just gets you like right there in the throat. Tracy says, Sing Her Name is a novel, not a memoir. Yeah, it's a novel. It's a novel. Uh, Teresa said, The Coming of Water was a phenomenal story. Yeah, that's what I hear. Nicole says, No, I like the book, saying he needed to keep it short. Yeah, well, that's your opinion, I guess, but some people they liked it like it was. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Bacola said Hours by Philip B. Williams is long, but really good. I didn't want it to end. You see, that's the thing. That's the kind of long book I like, where you're hearing people say, "Oh my God, that was so good. I was so, immersed in the story. I didn't want it to end. I could have gone for 200 plus pages more." You know, I like it. That's when you can really hear that that long book like was really it was doing the thing. So I'm glad to hear that about Hours because that's another book that not a lot of people have picked up just yet. Although the people that I've seen that have picked it up and talked about it said they loved it. So yeah. Um, yeah, so Bacola says that Amalola and her are going to be reading The Coming of Water in October. Um, okay, so Amalola said, definitely looking forward to the challenge of Les Mis. I've wanted to read it forever. Yeah, well, I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to try to make it fun as much as I can. Nicole says, I'm hoping some of the things happening early in the book pay off later because now I'm like, you could have skipped that scene. Okay, all right. You ain't liking this book like that then. Celeste said, very accomplished, very, very demure after finishing the big book. I know, right? You know, you be slapping your back going, yeah, I finished that. But I know y'all had some issues reading the count. So I'm not counting on y'all, some of y'all reading with me and Michael and Tatiana, because I know y'all was struggling with the count. I don't know how y'all was struggling with the count because the count is freaking fantastic. That is like a great read. Birdie said I'm doing pretty well, can't complain. She's reading Jonah's Gourdvine and still working on A Lion's Pride. Okay, very nice. Okay, so Amalalo says to Bukola she really wants to read Hours. Can't wait to find a pot of gold, retire, and read. I know, right? So many books, so little time. Girl, ain't that the truth? Uh, yeah, okay. So Teresa says, and Abraham keeps you, Vergez keeps you engaged until the very last page. Yes, he does. Okay, so Birdie says she's upset that Wandering Stars isn't on the list anymore. Well, Wandering Stars was one of the books that I thought was going to be on the list as well. Just because, I mean, come on, the first Native American author to be on it, nominated in the prize and along with, I was like, come on now, they're gonna put that on the short list. So I think there are plenty of people like you and I, Bertie, that are disappointed that Tommy Orange didn't make it onto the short list. I have to admit, I was very surprised by that because that was one of the ones that I thought would have gone on there. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Jennifer said, finish Orbital this week and found it pretty redundant. Oh, you see, this is what I heard. I've heard redundant. I've heard a bore. I heard boring as hell. Nothing happens. I've heard all versions of that. Okay, so Jennifer said, but she did listen to it and was wondering if it would have a different experience with a paper copy. Girl, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty much the same, in my opinion. Patricia says to Nicole, buckle your seatbelt. The second half of the Bee Sting is a roller coaster ride. The character arcs and clues will all come together for you. See, Nicole, buckle up, stick in there, hang in there, girl. It's gonna be good. Let's see. Bertie said that's how I feel about Jonathan Strange and Mr. Nora. Okay, now I have that book and have not attempted to read it. So you said you could have read another 1,000 pages of that. See, now that's interesting because I have a feeling that I'm not gonna like that book. I have to look and see if I actually kept it or if I gave it away. Because I bought that book. I think it was a booktube recommendation. And I think I bought that book and I don't think I ever attempted to read it. It seemed like every time I looked at it on the bookshelf, I just went right past it and went to another book. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. If I still have it, maybe I'll attempt to read it, but I think I gave that away. I'm not sure if I still have it. Hey Margaret, good morning. Bonjour. Jennifer said to Amalula, yes, half of my book collection is for when I retire one day. At least that's what I tell my husband. Oh, you're just getting ready for your author interview in 30 minutes. Ooh, with a cup of tea. Yes. Okay, so Nicole said reading 700 plus page Wizard of the Crow. Oh, no, that's a whole nother kettle of fish there. She felt like every part was needed. Yeah, well, apparently it's a very complex book, that book. That ain't no joke. That's some serious 700 plus page reading. Bertie said The Count of Monte Cristo is one of my favorite books of all time. Mine too. So good. I'm gonna say to Jennifer, yes, exactly this. Okay. Alba said, please, oh, smash it like, thank you, Alba. I appreciate that. Nicole said to Patricia, and thanks. It's a good book so far. Invest into the characters and the story. Okay, good. Okay, Bukola says ours is very poetic. So that's nice to hear. I feel like that's nice because that means the writing must be sublime. Teresa said she didn't struggle with the count at all. No, I didn't struggle at all either. I was just like waiting to see what's going to happen next. It was a really good book, and sometimes I couldn't put it down. I will definitely read it again one day. Oh yeah, for sure. It was really good. Bertie said Wandering Stars is so good. I want more people to read it so I can scream at people about it. The thing is, I haven't read There yet, so I need to make that part of my reading plan for next year is to read There, then I can skim on over to Wandering Stars because you have to read There to be able to continue on into Wandering Stars. So that is on my TBR list for sure for next year. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so Patricia says she's starting Held this weekend and All Fours by Miranda July. I don't remember what Held is about. I think I read what it was about, but I forgot. If you can remember what it's about, then if you have time, just jot a little bit about what it's about in general. Hey D, how you doing? What's up? What you reading? Hey Latrice, how are you? What are you reading? Let's see. Tracy said orbital, and only got halfway through. It's quite dry in my opinion. Okay, we see there you go. This other one. I can add that to boring, boring as hell, dry. Oh my god, monotone. I mean, all those things that people are saying about the book. But you know what? It's on the short list. Okay, so D is currently reading Magically Black and Other Essays. Who wrote that? Magically Black and Other Essays. I don't recognize this title. I'm Melissa. Speaking of long books, anyone ever read A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth? I talked about buying it last month. I just look at its girth and shake my head. 1,249 pages. The font is smaller than regular. Yeah, no, I wouldn't recognize. Well, I have not read it, but it's on my TBR to read. And the copy that I have the newer version of A Suitable Boy. So it's the one that's white with like it has like some kind of purple and orange in it. I'm gonna show you my cover. I feel like the words in that particular edition aren't too bad, but I have a feeling that when I finally decide to read it, I'm gonna read it on Kindle because bruh, ain't nobody reading no book with no tiny ass font. I can't do the tiny ass font. That's not gonna work for me. Let's see if I can see the one I have. Um, let's see if they have the edition that I have in here. Yeah, I have this one. That's the one that I have. So this is a newer version. So I don't know how many pages that is, but it's still a lot. But I feel like the font size is a little better because the really old versions, the font size is incredibly small. Yeah. Uh, wish they would release 1,000 plus pages, and they won't do that in multiple parts because they know full well people won't read them. That's why they don't do it because the moment that you know how it is, the moment they kind of split a book up and it becomes like a series of some kind, people people won't want to read it. They won't want to. They won't want to continue it. Mm. Oh, it's by Gerald Walker. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, Latrice is still finishing up Before I Let Go by Leonard Pitts Jr. Last day of vacation before I fly home tonight. Oh my God, you've been on vacation. Did you have a good time? Uh, yeah, I mean, are you rested? You know, how you feeling? Okay, yeah, I haven't read Before I Let Go either. Before I forget, sorry, before I forget. Yeah, it's Before I Forget. They made an adaptation of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Okay, possibly. But Keisha says she hasn't seen it, but I may enjoy it. I probably would enjoy watching it because if there's a level of, how do you say, sci-fi or fantasy to it, I probably would prefer watching it than reading it. I really have trouble with reading sci-fi and fantasy. I really do have trouble with it. Um, oh, you don't want to go home. Okay, Billy. Well done. She just finished Jazz and gave it 5 stars. I hear that. So Patricia Ann said, Held is a story set within the history of World War II. Okay. That's interesting. Um, Margaret said it's magical realism rather than SFF. Um, okay, so let me just say it like this. Magic for me, magical realism can work if I can, you know, discount all belief about what they're trying to make me believe that's magical realism. If I can manage to continue to enjoy the story and suck up that magical realism without too much of like, why are they doing that? Or that can't work, whatever. If they can get me to read it without me, constantly asking questions about it, then no problem. I can get on board. Like I remember reading, what is it, 100 Years of Solitude. It has a bunch of magical realism in it, but I just sucked it up, and I didn't ask too many questions, and I wound up enjoying the book immensely. So who knows? Maybe. Did I read When a Man Falls? No, I have not read that When a Man Falls from the Sky. But I remember when it came out, everybody was talking about it, how good it was. I've not read that though. Does that have magical realism in it? Is the man really falling from the sky? It's not just a title; it's a real thing. Because usually when we're talking about magical realism, there's always a little bit of, something, that you either gonna accept it or not. Margaret said, interesting. I like the side plot of the nagging question. It's like a mystery, but not with the mystery genre tropes. I didn't like Garcia Marquez too much. Abuse core from Yeah, he has a lot of that kind of weird shit in his. I mean, I think that is the only book by Marquez that I read that I liked. I read what was it? The Cholera book, and I hated it. And then I read the other one, one is called Melancholy Whores. My Melancholy Whores, I think is what it's called. This book is terrible. I mean, this book is about some old man that's, you know, trying to have a relation with a child that's drugged out of her mind, asleep, and is only like 13 or 14 years old. It's creepy as hell. I don't know how that book he managed to get that book published without people giving him this major side eye. Strange book, very strange book. Um, let's see. Yeah, the Cholera book, hated it. Absolutely hated it. Yeah, I did like the House of Erzuli. I liked it a lot, actually. That kind of has it does have some magical realism. It has like a horror tone to it. Yeah, no thank you for that melancholy horror book. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I couldn't believe it. Um, let's see. Billy says I just finished Jonas Gordon, Zora Neale Hurston, 5 stars. Excellent. Patricia Ann said another book I finished this week, The Silence in Between. Highly recommend. What's it about? I don't think I've heard of this one, The Silence in Between. I don't remember it hearing about it. Mm. So I mean, I think magical realism, it really depends on how it's written. Because if you look at somebody like Jesmyn Ward, she has magical realism inside her books as well. So when I read the first one by her that I read, which was, what was that first book called? I don't remember what that book was. What was it called? Um, yeah, Loving the Time of Cholera. That Cholera book was no, thank you. No, not Salvage the Bones. Um, I'm late on Just Ward. Mm, what was the stupid book called? I can't remember to save my life. Oh, Jesus. Um, Sing Unburied Sing. So Sing Unburied Sing has a level of magical realism running through it as well. And but for some reason, it it you're somehow you're taken out of it. You're separated from it, and so you miss it more, and it doesn't go down well. You can drink whatever you want behind that magical realism and Sing Unburied Sing, but it is not going down the throat. Okay, so uh that's one that I was just like, that's not working. Now I'm trying to think if there's anything else or other magical realism uh things that I've read, and it was fine. Uh, yeah, she has a lot in Let Us Descend, but it works better. It works much better in Let Us Descend than it does in Sing and Buried Sing. And that makes sense because I mean Let Us Descend is her latest book. And you can tell when if you've read any of her earlier works, you can tell that she has she has turned over a leaf somewhere with her right. She has Yeah, she has done some serious honing of the writing skills and stuff when you read Let Us Descend. It's a totally different kettle of fish. Yeah, you see, because it doesn't go down well. The idea of that there's a part where she makes a character sort of like a ghost, and you're just kind of like, why couldn't you just do flashbacks and explain this part of the story? Why you had to make this person in like sort of like a ghostly kind of figure? I don't know. I wouldn't have done it that way, but she was encouraged to do it that way uh by her editor, and I was just like looking at I was like, your editor needs a side eye because that was a mistake, in my opinion. Um, yeah. So, I mean, there are people that really loved it, and there's a lot of people who liked it a little bit like that. I think I gave it like 3 stars, but two and a half, 3 stars, and I said maybe I'll reread it and see if because I went to the talk that she came to Shakespeare and Co. and hearing her talk about the book there made me see some things a little differently. But at the time, I don't think I was prepared to reread the book so soon to see if I could be more forgiving about those things that I didn't particularly enjoy. But I understood where she was coming from when she explained it. But I don't think it was the best decision from her editor's point of view. I think the editor made a mistake. But it's just me. So magical realism has can be can be used as a I don't know if you want to call it, I guess you could call it a trope. I don't know. It can be used and be very effective in telling a story, and it can be used. Oh, I guess you could say it could be overused and ruin the whole thing. And that's where you don't want to be as a writer is using having magical realism be a part of your story when it doesn't really need to be there. That your story will come across even better without it. And sometimes it just works with the story. I'm trying to think. There was this one story I read. It was what was that story called now? And it had some magical realism elements. Oh, I think it was Jonathan Odell's The Healing by Jonathan Odell. That was a great book. So good. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That book was so good. It has elements of magical realism, but the way it's done, it doesn't take you out of the story or make you go, now, oh my God, what is this? You never do that with the story. You just eating the story up. You know what's going to happen next. The thing about the healing is this is a story that takes place on a plantation, and the main character is this black woman who has these. She's sort of like a conjure woman to a certain extent, so she does all these potions. She's like a healer. She heals the people on the plantation and stuff. So the guy who wrote the book, The Healing, is a white gay man from Mississippi. So knowing that, I was thinking, okay, we're gonna see how this is gonna be. Turned out it was the best book. I buddy read it with Alicia. If Alicia's still in here, she can pop in and say what she thought about it. I remember she liked it as well. It was done very, very well, very authentically written. And I thought it was interesting because I think at the end of the story, it explains how he went about making sure that that story it remained authentic, and it was mostly because he straight up asked his black friends, to make sure that what he was writing was authentic. And it did have some elements of magical realism, but it was just the right amount, and it was not overdone. It was really good. Let's see. Yeah, they are trendy. You're correct. I think they are trendy too, Nicole. Well, I also think that it's trendy right now to write horror, to write fantasy, and what else? To write sci-fi. These are really trendy because a lot of the new books that have been coming out recently have been in those genre. I don't know if you noticed, but it's almost like they're asking or pushing some of the black writers to write into that genre. Because there was oh God, what was the name of that book? It was called, wasn't it called The Remember? Her name was the author's name is Yvonne Battle Felton or something like that. Her debut novel was historical fiction slash literary fiction. And she just came out with another book recently, and it falls into the category of horror. I was just like, what? What? So I don't know what's going on with that. This manipulation of getting writers to write, whatever the publishers say they want to hear from them is kind of getting a little bit weird. So her second book is horror. I think that's what it is. Because when I saw it, I was like, oh great, and book. I think I saw it on Chocolate Covered Pages channel because she had the book in her stack. And when she mentioned, I was like, "Oh, great!" And then she started reading what it was about. I was like, "That's a straight up horror. That's horror. Like, what's she doing writing horror for? I don't know. I don't get it. I wasn't happy to hear that. So yeah, let's see. We were talking about who gets it. We were talking about the book, The Healing by Jonathan Odell. Let's see. Yes, it was a great read. I totally enjoyed it. You just got her second book, yeah, Curdle Creek. I think this is like horror, and I was just like, no, I'm not reading that. I'm sorry, that's not really what I do. I'm disappointed because I was looking forward to her next book. Not anymore. Yvonne Battle Felton. Look at the cover. Wait, yeah, look at the cover. It's definitely horror. Definitely horror. It even starts like this. For fans of The Lottery and The Hunger Games, this novel, set in a small town with a sinister tradition, is chilling in the best possible way. Welcome to Curdle Creek, a place just dying to make you feel at home. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. No, no, I'm good. I'm not that far in. I'm maybe like 22% in, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. No qualms about Razor Blade Tears. I think I'm good now. It was just my darkest prayer was not good for me. But Blacktop Wasteland, that was 4 stars. That was really good. I loved what's his name, Beauregard or whatever his name was. And in here, this one is turning out to be very, very interesting right from the start. I'm loving it. Let's see. Yeah, people love it, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing it. I don't love it. We're about to get into Halloween. Ugh, I'm sick of it. No. I'm very disappointed that it's not historical fiction. I was just like, what the fuck? Why? 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 Why is she writing this? Yeah, I did like Lone Women, but Lone Women is not the typical horror. If it's on the light side, I'm a little. It's not the typical horror. Yeah, read it from a Jennifer because I ain't reading it. Read it from a Jennifer and tell me because I ain't reading it. That ain't happening. Please do read it for me because yeah, somebody read it for me because I'm not reading it. I mean, I have bigger fish to fry, bigger, better fish to fry than that. I'm not wasting my time on that. So please read it for me and tell me what it was like because I don't think I know I'm not doing it. I'm open. I'm open to not wasting my time. How about that? I'm open to not wasting my time. Like I'm open to reading excellent books. I'm not open to reading anything that is 3 stars or under. I want 4 5 star books. 4 or 5 stars. I don't want to waste my time on anything less. Yeah, I know. I'm a problem. I know I'm a problem girl, but I'm sorry. I just don't feel like it. I don't want to read anything that I could consider to be mediocre. Sue me. That's just how it would be. I don't mind psychological thrillers. I mean, I'll read thrillers if they're good, but not if they not. Like all the time I spent, over the stupid My Darkest Prayer. I mean, the only reason why I stuck it out is because I kept thinking it's gonna get better, and I'm like, girl, you on page 160. This shit ain't getting better. It's bad. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't really horror like that. I don't want no mediocre books. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of like with all of the new books that are coming out now. I would pretty much say most of them are pretty much in the mediocre bin. They've been around the 3 stars or less. So yeah, if y'all want to read that, knock yourself out. I don't want to read that. I'm sorry. Done. Dusted. I'd rather just go to my own bookshelf and get out a backlisted book that I know is going to be excellent than to have to read some of this new stuff that's coming out. Just make it giving me like I'm having to give it the hard side eye because it's just so mediocre. And you can tell out the gate it's going to be mediocre. I just, I mean, I don't know. The with the intensity that the books are coming out at the moment, they can't all be good. You already know they're not all good. You should say to yourself, most of this shit is really bad. So let me just pick, try to find the one that's really, really good. If there's one in there that's really, really good. Look, Latrice, people be out here spending too much damn money on mediocre. But look, I ain't gonna fight with you. Buy the mediocre book if that's what you want. I don't want to do it. Here again, you see, like the Frida McFadden mess. But then I kind of knew Frida McFadden was a little on the not so great side because when I heard what she was writing about, I said, "Oh yeah, hell no, this ain't it." I knew it wasn't it. But you see, the thing is, it's like people be getting the FOMO and all that, and then they're running out and they got to get the Frida McFadden. No, the only reason why I'm reading Frida McFadden is because my book it's on my book club list in Normandy. Otherwise, my ass would not be reading no Frida McFadden. So what am I doing? Am I buying Frida McFadden? Hell to the no. I'm reading it on Everand on audio. I am not buying no Frida McFadden. That ain't gonna happen. No way. Well, you see, I mean, authors have to try new things. Maybe that's what she's doing. No, Nala Hopkinson is trying something new without the Caribbean theme, but she might just as well realize when she does her next book that I need to go back to the Caribbean because that shit wasn't it. So she's just gonna realize. I mean, it is what it is. It's not easy to pick out books, but it kind of is, because I think a bunch of us have been reading so many books. Some people they read like 300 books in the year. Now if you're reading 300 books in the year, y'all got some 3 stars up in that mess. Y'all know what I mean. That some of them books is just not that ain't it. Hey Morgan, how are you? Stop laughing, Latrice, because you the one, you be reading 200 books a year. You know, when that ain't it. That's why I would almost rather just stick in my bookcases and get my old books out and read that because I know it's gonna be good. Like, um, but I mean, it's like I said, the intensity in which these new books are coming out, it's hard to keep up with. But then when you do, you realize, well, damn, this is not it. This ain't it. What's wrong? This ain't it. Okay, so Patricia Ann said my favorite new release this year was And So I Roar. Such an excellent book and sequel. Okay. Hey Morgan. Um for me, I really liked King of Life. That was fantastic. Whoo, child, that book was good. That was good nonfiction. Let's see, what else have I read this year that's fiction that's new? That was excellent. Because see, that's where it starts to get, when you start reading what's new that came out this year that's excellent. Yeah, then you got issues trying to figure that shit out because it's never gonna be. See, your average right now is 3.4. And how many damn books have you read? Because I know you didn't read about 300 books or some shit like that. I'm struggling over here with my 49 or 48 or whatever the hell it is. Let me see. Read books that came out this year that I read that were let me see. Okay, I read The Unsettled. That was shit. Do not read it. It was shit. The Unsettled by Yana Mathis. That's 2 stars. Forget it. Forget it. Don't do it. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Let's see what else. I read The Secret Keeper of Main Street. I gave it 3 stars. It was stars, nothing special. Like I would not like say, oh, go out and get the Secret Keeper of Main Street. That's excellent. No. It's just okay. Let's see. What else did I read that was new? I did read Let Me Liberate You, but that's like a 3 star. It was good. It made me laugh, so fine. Okay, so you see, you gave it, you DNF'd it. I read but the storyline is all over the place. The characters are crazy. Main character, that crazy mama, she's crazy. She's doing all kind of weird stuff that don't make no sense. The storyline is just you go over here and you go way over here. You don't even know how you got over there. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was. I didn't read her first book, which was the 12 Tribes of Hattie. I didn't read that book, so I was reading Unsettled because she's going to be at the Festival of America. Girl, I'm leaving that book right here. I'm just gonna act like I don't see Ayanna Mathis. I don't want her to sign the book. It's not good, you know. So I'm gonna leave it here. My thing is my suitcase is gonna be one book lighter because I was just like, hell no. Um, well, the thing is, I heard only mixed reviews on the 12 Tribes of Hattie. I've heard people say it's excellent, and then I've heard other people say, yeah, it's okay. So, I don't know what to think. I did read A Trace of Sun, but that was good. I would recommend that. That was 4 stars. And let's see. Did I read any other new black books? I read The Blueprint. That was good. I read it. A buddy read it with Morgan. That was 4 stars. That was a good book. And it didn't get enough press when it came out. But I would recommend reading The Blueprint. It was good. And I would recommend it as a book club pick. And then let's see what else. I don't think I read anything. Oh yeah, I also read Praise Song for the Kitchen Ghost, which is part cookbook, part memoir. Excellent. 5 stars. That would make a great gift if you want to get like a cookbook, or or somebody who likes that kind of cookbook memoir situation. Get Praise Song for the Kitchen Ghost. Excellent. 5 stars. And then I read King, The Life of Martin Luther King. That was fantastic. 5 stars. What else did I read? And that was it. I haven't read a ton of new books, but um, and of course I'm reading these. So I read Blacktop Wasteland. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really good. I gave Darkest Prayer 2 stars. Um, but yeah, so I can't say that I've like actually read a bunch of new books by black authors this year, but yeah, and not I mean, I'm just saying, you know, take care with your money. That's all I got to say. Take care with your money. Be careful what you're buying. Don't regret it once you read it and go, "Oh man, why did I read this damn thing?" So be careful. Okay, that's interesting. Celeste said her standout books have been mostly nonfiction. I am not surprised by that. Not surprised by that at all. Not at all am I surprised by that commentary. Because the nonfiction is that nonfiction be slapping. I mean, there's some really good nonfiction books that have been coming out recently and very readable. And that's really what you want from nonfiction. You want it to be something that is readable, that will actually get you to maybe read something else that's connected to it. Yeah, I find like I'm not surprised. Okay, Teresa says What You Leave Behind by Wanda Morris was really good. Okay, that's a good recommendation. Thank you. If anybody else has any recommendations, for new books, either nonfiction or fiction that they read this year, they would give 4 or 5 stars. Come on and put them in the comment section because we need as many good recommendations as we can get. Morgan said yes. My favorite book this year are essay collections. Okay. Um, let's see. Dee said to Celeste, me as well. Black folks, Madness, Rooted, Wake Up America, and King. Okay, that's excellent right there. Jennifer said Martyr is one of her favorite books. Yeah, okay, Celeste, I got that. So if people are listening, nonfiction books, Black Folks, Madness, Rooted, Wake Up America, and King. All nonfiction books by Black authors that are excellent. 5 stars. Birdie said Indian Burial Ground by Nick Medina. I think I've heard of this title before. It came out earlier this year and it was fantastic, and I don't think enough people talked about it. Okay, noted. Celeste said, and several essay collections. Okay, very good. Tinley says Trouble in Queenstown by Delia Pitts was really good. I remember I think it was you had mentioned it and somebody else had mentioned that title. Was talking about that title and said it was really good. Let's see, what else did I read that was really good. Okay, I read Dangerous Liaisons. That was really good. I gave that 5 stars. It was excellent. I read The Debacle, which was Emile Zola. You can get that in English. It's called The Debacle in English. 5 stars, excellent. I read The Known World. That's a backlist, but damn, that book is good. 5 stars. Homemade Love, 5 stars. Definitely read Homemade. If you've never read J. California Cooper, come on now, stop playing and get to J. California Cooper. It's really good. Also read my first Diane McKinney Whetstone, which was Leaving Cecil Street, and that was 4 stars. Very, very good. Uh, I didn't like that book. I read The Secret History of Las Vegas with the book club, Read to Live book club. Gave that 4 stars. I really, really loved it. Let's see what else. Daughters of the Dust by Julie Dash. Excellent read. I gave that 4.5 stars. Soldier Sailor by Claire Kilroy. That was real good too. That's about a 4.5 stars. Harlem Shuffle, I read that and I thought it was really good. I read that with my book club here in Normandy. I gave that 4 stars. Really, really good read. An Untamed State, excellent read, but you got to get your mind right because 5 stars. Very, very good. Also read River East, River West. I thought that was really good too. I gave that 4 stars. Um, let's see, what else did I read? One Blood, excellent. Lone Women, excellent. The Belly of the Atlantic by Fatou Diom. That one is excellent too. That's a really good book. It's the writing style is very particular. Definitely one not to miss, particularly if you're looking for a translated work because this one is originally written in French and translated into English. And it's called The Belly of the Atlantic, Fatou Diom. Very good book. Let's see. The Secret Keeper of Main Street was just okay. I mean, read it or not read it, it's okay. Lazaretto by Diane McKinney Whetstone was really very, very good. That was a 4 star for me. And then we have the Unsettled, which was that wasn't it. So I don't know what my average is at the moment, but I don't think it's anywhere close to 4 stars. I think it might be like around 3 or something like that. But I don't have as many books as like some of y'all have on your list because I know y'all read a lot of books. Um, but yeah, Diane McKinney Whetstone's a wonderful writer. Really, really good writer. Let's see. Oh, Everything and Nothing at Once, A Black Man's Reimagined Soundtrack for the Future by Joel Leon. I remember this book, but I have not read that. Yeah, the Source of Self-Regard. Yeah, that one is good too, I'm sure. By Toni Morrison. Roxane Gay's. Now, I have not read Opinions, and I have read Bad Feminist. That was my first book that I read by Roxane Gay, was Bad Feminist, and I loved it. I thought it was really good. Opinions, I have not read yet. That's the latest one I think that just came out. I'll need to try to get my hands on that one. That, because that would be like the only book that I haven't read by her. I've read all of her other books. um, yeah. So Rosa said the unsettled almost put me in a reading slump. I know, right? Yeah, we leaving that at home. We're not bringing that to the Festival of America. No, no, ma'am, that's not happening. He said, looking forward to reading We Refuse, the Evangelicals, Lovers, and Strangers, Dispatches from the Diaspora. Okay, you got a lot on your wish list there. Birdie says she's actually going to a talk that she's having in Nashville. I think you're talking about Louise Erdrich. I have not read any Louise Erdrich. Where should I start with Louise Erdrich? So I haven't read any of it. Oh, you're starting Harlem. I'm still on Opal and Nev and Razorblade Tears. So, oh, you started with Love Medicine. Okay, now we were talking about earlier the magical realism situation, and I know Louise Erdrich has quite a lot of magical realism in her books as well. So I'm wondering if I'm really gonna like her writing. So I'm not sure if that's gonna really be my cup of tea, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna have to wait and see about that. But I will put Love, what is it called? Love Medicine. I will put that on my list for Louise Erdrich. Oh, The Night Watchman, you think is good too? Okay. Well, let's see. The Night Watchman. And what was the other one? The other one was Love Medicine. Okay. We're gonna see. Because I haven't read any of her stuff, and that's I should do better. I need to at least read one of them. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be immersive reading with Opal and Nev. So I'll have the physical copy and I'll be listening at the same time. Uh, no magical realism, the sentence. But I heard the sentence isn't that good. People usually don't say good things about the sentence. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'll try and see how it goes. Yeah, I have a few on my Kindle as well I need to look at too. So I don't have a ton of things on my Kindle, but I do have something. I probably have about 60 books total on my Kindle. I don't have a ton of books, but of the ones that I do have on there, I'm sure I have some that I need to, take a look at. So yeah, it might be something I might have to look into. Maybe I can read a couple before the end of the year from my Kindle because, yeah, you can't just let the Kindle stuff just sit there. But yeah, so that's it. I don't have much else to say. This has been interesting. Talking about, the books that we find to be, how do you say, good, that we're trying to find good books, and not, being swayed into reading too many mediocre new books. Rosa said she read Master Butcher Singing Club by Louise Erdrich. No, no magical realism. Okay. And but was it good? Was it 4 stars? Was it 5 stars? If it wasn't 4 or 5, don't tell me about it. I don't want to know. Just say, no, girl, it was 3 stars, and I'll just pass on that. Because that's what it really is about for me. I'm gonna say, was it 4 stars or a 5? And then you're gonna say, no, it was 3. I don't want to know. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I'm out. This has been lovely. Keep in mind, next Friday it's Festival America. So I might try to pop in over on Instagram Live, depending on what's going on. I'll try to pop in maybe with Rosa and Francine to tell you guys how things are going. But there will not be the regular Friday Reads Live here on YouTube until the following weekend. So the first week in October. So that's it for today. This has been great as usual. Have an excellent weekend, a wonderful Friday with a lot of good reading this weekend. And I'll see you maybe next Friday from Festival America. Happy birthday to you, Teresa, as well. My birthday twin. And then we also have Bernice L. McFadden as well. She has her birthday the day before. Alrighty. Bye. Ciao.